Well, it was fun because I got to watch Dallas Clark. I watched like every game he ever played in while he was at Iowa, or at least was tight end with season tickets. So I got to see his career, and he kind of made the tight end position really excited me when I was a kid. And then watching him play for the Colts and play all those games with no gloves on, just tape fingers, and really become like Peyton Manning's like outlet when Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison were open, and that was always really special to see. And so for him to get that recognition is awesome because he was a hell of a football player, won a Super Bowl with them, and just played at an elite level for a really long time. So very happy for him because hell of a guy, and that's an honor that's very, very much deserved.
Do you still have the autographed football that I gave you?
Yes, it's in my man cave. Yep, you're there, Vern. I look at it every day. I'm like, yeah, there's Vern. It sits up here, though. It sits up there. I couldn't help myself. That's horrible. I'm sorry.
Dallas would be proud.
He would be. He would be. Thanks, Vern. Those are good media questions.
George, Trent said
Yes.
Trent said that.
Which Trent?
Williams.
Yeah, big Trent.
I understand there was something there. Big Trent had mentioned that if you win on Sunday, it's obviously not payback for the Super Bowl. But does it feel like a little bit extra?
I don't know. Like you want to like keep every game, focus on one game at a time, that type of stuff. And I think Coach Shanahan, he had a really good team meeting the other day. It's like you can't live in the past, you can't look into the future. You have to like just live for the moment that what you're in now. And this is a different game. It's a lot of similar players, but technically a different team. And we're a different team a little bit too. So I'll just say like winning at home against anybody, let alone one of the last undefeated teams in football, that'll feel great.
George, you mentioned last week that you're getting more teams kind of playing more like a bend but don't break type of style.
Sure.
A lot of man coverage or things like that. But when you see the Chiefs, they played a lot of man against you guys in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
They do a lot of pressing, those kinds of things. Do you feel like teams are maybe following a little bit of a blueprint? I know you're still productive, but maybe making it.
You still in a quote from Bosa? Blueprint, remember that? The Eagles?
Yeah.
You remember better.
All right. Sorry, finish your question.
No, do you get the sense that teams maybe see that and say, hey, like, yeah, we're going to allow some yards, but we're going to make them earn every single, touchdown point that they get?
The NFL is a complete copycat league, like 100%. When you find something that works, like against a certain team, like coaches are finding stuff. Like we've added stuff to our run game plan against certain teams because, like, hey, maybe for example, like the Detroit Lions, one way that they do their motion. Hey, this works really well against this team. We're going to try it out, see if it works. And, oh, shoot, it works. Like, that's just kind of the whole NFL as a whole. And when you have, like the Chiefs, they had success against us, with man coverage and stuff. They did a really good job with that on us. And so teams are like, hey, we're going to try it too until you can beat us. And when you can do that, you can rush 5, just play with some lurk and stuff. Like, you put a lot of pressure on the quarterback and the receiving core to get open and stuff. And so I think some teams have done it. Like, not every team can do it because they don't have the guys to do it. But I've definitely seen more man coverage. But there's been years that we saw a ton of man coverage, and then 1 week we didn't see man coverage again because like one guy beat them on an 80-yard touchdown or something like that. It's just like it gets them out of it quick. Now I don't think the Chiefs will ever get out of man coverage because they live in like the 1B and pressure stuff. So, which is fun, and that's just a challenge for all of us to get open.
What is the challenge? A team that is that press and man heavy?
They just pressure a lot. So like everything's got to be fast, got to be really on your routes. Brock's got to be really on time with all of his stuff, and got to really hold up in protection because, you got to really help out on Chris Jones because of how dominant he is as a player, and then it gives a lot of one-on-ones to everybody else, and so it's really like you have to beat the man in front of you in the time into the play, otherwise it's going to be a loss or a tip or some type of interception.
How difficult is it to diagnose what they're bringing pressure-wise? I know they did a ton of it. I know you played a team like Minnesota, who also blitzed a lot. Does this?
They're a little different, but yeah. Okay. No, Minnesota's, they're wild. No, but you can't, you're not going to obviously see it every single time, but, the Chiefs do, they play situational football, so, their coverages change. They'll play something in the first half on third down, the second half they'll play something different, and then you get to, pressure downs, fourth quarter, they play different stuff as well. So it's their defense coordinator does a fantastic job. He switches stuff up all the time, so you can't just be, hey, we know we're going to get 11 lurk, and we know this guy's going to lurk. They switch it up almost every single time, constantly throughout the game too. So I think that's one reason they've had the success. And also, when you look at the Chiefs defense, what it is this year as it was last year and the year before is they're significantly better. Those guys have played together a lot of games. They're more on it. They're more on their coverages. You can see how they play with each other. So this is definitely the best defense I think we faced all year.
George, a couple more guys. Kyle.
Hey, Pete. Couldn't see you back there, man. You should get a box. Sorry.
No, all good. I get Kyle saying you got to be in the moment. past or the future. But you personally, every time you played the Chiefs, it's been kind of not a good experience.
It's fair.
We're human, so how hard is it to kind of say, oh, hey, I don't really see that uniform, I don't really see these guys, and this is just another thing.
I do a pretty good job of flushing stuff, and flushing Super Bowl losses, not the easiest thing to do. Like, it's a goal you always want to achieve. But if you let stuff linger and you let stuff affect you like that, you can't be the player that you want to be. And so I just try my best to tune out whatever noise is being said on the outside, and specifically this week, because people ask, hey, I've been asked to go on a couple different talk shows, and there's only one reason they want to ask me to be on these talk shows, because it's we're playing the Chiefs this week, and so it's just like, it's fine, but they're the best team in the league right now with the Vikings, and we just had to treat them like they're the best team in the league right now, and just go out there and play our ball. And I don't think it's that hard to just focus on them as a team. Like, we know what they're going to give us. We played them a lot of times. We've never beaten them, but the thing is, it's a new year and we have another opportunity.
Your red zone touchdowns have gone up over your career. Each year they get better.
Thank you. Good job, Brock.
Maybe that's the answer. But what has changed? I mean, how have you gotten better in that area? Some of these catches are really terrific catches in tight spaces. How have you improved in that regard?
It's a combination of just continually earning trust with Purdy and just getting reps with him. And the more practices that we get together, the more he's going to trust us in just certain situations. Say, screw it, I'm going to throw it up. Like the Patriots ball was 100% supposed to go to Debo, but he wanted to give a shot and throw it up to me. It's a combination of that and just getting your number called in the red zone. Like, that's a big part of it too. We game plan for everybody. Like, every time there's multiple plays for Debo that he's the number one read. There's plays for Ayuk, Juwan, myself, and not every single time they get called. So while they might be up and I practice some, they don't get called. And I've just been fortunate that the plays that I've been schemed up on have been called.
Have you noticed though that over the years you get more and more, calls schemed up?
Yes and no. I try not to think about it, because if you think about not getting schemed up, it upsets you. I don't get mad at Kyle.
George, what's the key to beating this team? You guys haven't beaten this team, and I know it's probably nauseating you guys. What's going to get you guys over the top?
My two keys to victory that are 100% my opinion and nothing else that anyone else has said. I think every time we played the Chief, we've had multiple turnovers on offense, and you just can't turn out the ball over against a team that has Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce on the other side, because they can really score at will. Their offense is very complicated, hard to game plan. So between not turning the ball over and then I would just love to run the ball 30 times. Like, those are my two things. Stay on the field, dominate the time of possession, and don't turn the ball over.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, George.
Thanks, guys.
Auditorium for Brock.